I always want him close to my nipple.
Alright, okay, on that note, we'll start episode 4.
I like it. I think that's a good segue there.
Yeah, so I actually haven't seen you much in the last while, so you have loads to talk about.
Yeah. I think we're subconsciously avoiding each other now. And even when we do talk to each other, it's like...
Weather. How's the weather, man?
I don't want to tell you anything.
Literally, like, before I used to have something funny to say. I'd actually, like, find you. I'd, like, come around, walk around college and find you. But now I'm like, oh, tell them later. Write it on my arm.
Are you getting any more work done now that we're...
Nah, not really.
In fact, I think I've got less done. Folks, I had a little patch last week where I actually went to like a few lectures. I haven't been since.
Yeah, I noticed you missed a few this morning, so.
Alarm went off at 7. Not a sup for getting up. Not a chance. Right, hang on. Before we get chatting shit, let's do a bit of housekeeping, the usual.
Alright.
Instagram and Twitter are up.
Yes, if you're listening to this and you haven't checked out our Instagram and Twitter, what is wrong with you, man? The Instagram is as good as it gets. And all the pictures reference the shit we talk in the podcast.
And they will again tonight. For anyone that's worried as well, because Miarty had a bit of it. He said he's going to unfollow us on Instagram if we keep putting up too much stuff. Because what we do is we don't put anything up for a week and then put like 5 or 6 things up about this week's episode. So like, fuck him.
I mean, we could space it out maybe.
Nah, fuck him. It's not his podcast. He can suck a dick.
Fuck you, Marty. Also, the Twitter. Have we even posted that on Twitter? Or are we just sharing the Instagram?
You share the Instagram on Twitter, so I was just hoping to get a different crowd. We follow no one so far on Instagram, and we follow one person on Twitter. Jerry, our only listener.
Jerry Adams.
And they were going to check that themselves.
We saved this for the middle. Sorry, yeah. We have a to-do list here. Alright.
Which we will again put up on Instagram, like we did last week.
Yeah, list is going up. On also housekeeping, intro sound. Some people, we were going to do an intro sound.
Yeah, but like we said we'd have it done by episode 5. So today, as you know, what did we say to lead into this? Oh, something about nipples or something. That was our intro sound for this week. And that was pretty half-assed and pretty thrown together, but
we'll see how that goes. That could be good.
It could be lost.
It was just this weird idea I had, and then if it doesn't work out, I will get off my ass and do an intro sound. We did actually have requests for one of our friends, Hando, to he's actually the lead singer of Hando, the band. We got a request for him to do the intro sound, and fuck him. We'll do it ourselves.
If we do one, we'll leave him do it.
Yeah, actually, Hando.
He's a die-hard listener. He and another person both asked me, when is the next episode going up?
Ooh.
So, I'm not going to get both to you. People are listening. People want to know.
So, Hando, if you can come up with a tune and send it to us, we'll happily reject you like... We can reject you live on podcast if you want.
He was about to say, like what? I'll finish the sentence because he got midway through the sentence and I just gave him that eye. Oh my god, you can't do that. Don't talk about Hando like that. Man, you absolutely can't.
Speaking of Hando, he had an unbelievable gig.
Which I missed.
There last week. Yeah, Cloons missed it. So I'm going to fill him in and what happened.
It's like I go to loads of the shit and people like fucking Tom O'Rourke never comes, all that kind of stuff. He's absolutely there last week for Hando's gig. Everyone was there, even Alina came.
Shout out to Alina.
Shout out Ali C.
Keane showed up.
Big shout out to Keane.
Big shout out to Keane. Mainly because he just got pissy he didn't get a shout out last time.
He was, if I'm not mistaken, our first subscriber and we completely ignored him last week. He was salty.
He was the first subscriber after Jerry.
Oh yeah.
Jerry subscribed.
Jerry's family decision, not sure.
Jerry's actually in our live studio audience today. How are you, Jerry? Oh, he doesn't talk very much.
I'm going to do a bad Northern accent there. Oh, we should get Katie in to do it.
We're quartered separate and double in.
Yeah. We'll go to say some Republican stuff and she should be happy with that.
just have her say she was never in the RAF. I know, I'm going to tell you about Hando's gig because it was fucking great, right? So lads all came over to mine.
I still managed not to hear anything about this because I wanted to talk to you all week. Like, go for it.
Right, so we're drinking over here. All the boys show up. And
boys.
Seamus and Tom aren't here yet, right? And they're like ringing, like we're outside the door, we're looking outside, they're not there. Turns out they've been smoking, right? Smoking drugs.
Oh man.
And we go to the window and we look across and they're in the other house. They're just like wandering around lost and we're there like, lads. So we eventually get them in the house and it turns out what they've done, right, is instead of smoking their drugs with tobacco,
They blended.
they put peppermint in there, right?
What?
Right? Peppermint tea.
Tom does some weird shit.
Man, let me tell you, peppermint tea is the best way to do it. I will never go back, right? Peppermint tea, cut a peppermint tea bag open, put that in, and then 50-50 it with your drugs. Oh my god, it goes down so smooth. There's like a pepperminty taste.
Oh.
You could probably substitute any type of tea. Like, such a good idea.
That's so good.
Right? So now we're on this absolute buzz and we were dying to smoke more drugs because it had peppermint in it and all. So we were smoking on the way there and we were smoking it and we went to Hando's gig and it was absolutely insane. We were all like half glazed, really drunk. Like I was 6 cans deep or something. It was insane.
When you get mangled, it's the funniest thing ever.
It's so fun.
You don't do it enough.
Man, Rattlin Bog, the whole place, like
BD absolutely going mental, was he?
I'd say we shook the foundations. Like I have videos of D-Rog absolutely going insane.
Wait, put that on Instagram.
Shout out to D-Rog.
Who is not listening because he doesn't listen.
He's a prick.
Yeah, we can mug him off here now.
Yeah, I actually have the funniest, most embarrassing video of him, so you can load that up and you'll never see it. Ah man.
No. How's your phone buzzing?
Where is my
It's
phone?
over there, look.
Oh, sorry about that. It's very unprofessional.
Yeah, fucking mugging my phone. Yeah. But when you were at, you were out the other night, weren't you? I fit like.
Here, let me tell you this because the peppermint gets pretty insane, right? So Hanno absolutely fucking knocks out of the park, and then
As he always does.
He's unbelievable. And then
The man can't remember words, but he can work a crowd.
You should have seen him. He pretty much had sex with one of the bartenders from the stage. He was like giving her all that, eyeing her up. She was swooning from like picking up glasses. She was loving it. But
So,
anyway,
always a bridesmaid, never a bride for it. You can take him to one all they want.
rip Hando.
Songs.
But right, so the gig finishes out, and we're all hanging around, and I was like drunk enough to invite everyone back to my gaff at fucking midnight or whatever. lads, come back to mine. And don't worry, I have some cans. Fucking giving away all my cans. So we get back.
One can being 10 bucks.
I actually had an 8-pack of cans distribution. So we get back, and we're all drinking cans. The lads start getting hungry, right? And then
Obviously pepperminted off their chops.
pepperminted off their chops, and then so they're like, pizza, yeah. And then they spend fucking 25 minutes bumbling around trying to order pizza because everybody's so gone. We eventually get the pizza done, and then they're sitting around waiting for it, and they're like, man, let's go smoke some more peppermint, right?
Yeah.
So we go outside, right, and it's like fucking 12:30 by this point, and there's 9 rowdy lads standing in a massive circle smoking 3 peppermints. Right? So we're smoking.
Can't believe I missed this.
Right.
Head is gone.
And as you know, listeners, I'm an RA here, right? And as an RA, you get to know the security in the residences quite well, right? So I would know the majority of the lads. And the lad who approached us in the circle, I did not know. Brand new lad, right? So there's us 9 rowdy boys standing in a circle, 3 peppermints between us being passed around. And then this lad walks up, he's like, boys, I can smell that from the path. You stay where you are now. And then he says, Roebuck 1 to Roebuck 2, calling the other security guard over. And the lads are like, fuck, they're giving me the eyes and shit, right?
Jake,
meanwhile, through all this, I have my phone in my pocket, blaring just like instrumental jazz, right?
Kamasi
Washington. Just blaring jazz, and I didn't even stop it. Like, your man is waiting there, and he's obviously new because he's calling the security guard to like the wrong house, and I'm like, man, actually we're at this house here, and he's waiting ages for the other lad. Like, I swear it's about 5 minutes, and I'm just bopping away to jazz, and some of the lads are like, fuck, Jake, what's going on? I'm like, it's grand. And so the other lad comes over, and that lad knew I was an RA, and he comes up and he's like, now boys, what are you doing? And then I turned around and he was like, oh man, you're an RA, you should know better. Next time smoke on the benches, yeah? And I was like, I will, of course. We're just gonna head in now anyway. And he was like, have a good night, lads. Skull free. As soon as we were in the door around the corner, the boys went full rowdy again, like, I can't believe we got away with that.
Was David there?
Yeah, he was.
He would have got away with that, yeah.
Shout out to Marky Mark Rogers.
Yeah, brap.
I know he smokes a bit of peppermint.
Yeah, all day.
Oh, it was such banter, you should have seen. Like.
But Joey, you were saying Tom had like the peppermint shit. Like he put in the joint. I was.
In the what?
He put peppermint tea in the joint.
In the what?
In the.
In the
cigarette, yeah.
It was tobacco and peppermint.
Just extra kick of fun. I went to.
Man, I'm just like, oh man, we can't say what we're really talking about, and then I'm just shouting out names of people. We had to bleep in that episode too.
Yeah, we had one bleep. And in episode 3 I was like, oh man, bleep how much money I had in the account. We just never bleeped it and then referred to that amount of money as bleep for the rest of the show. Shocking if you're there. But I went to a place yesterday. I was killing time. I arrived early for that appointment, and it was like
You talk about that.
yeah, I walked down around the corner and there was this like underground tea house, and I was like,
unreal.
yeah, I'll go down to this. Fuck, I passed it a few times. I was like, I want to go in there because it looks deadly.
An underground and tea house.
You go down into this yoke, and you walk in. It's like a massage kind of place. So like it's a tranquil music and stuff. And I'm like
Asian and there's.
But this is a brothel. I was like, I'm gonna get some tea and some pussy here. This is I was like, fuck. Class.
Happy ending massage, all the whole works.
A woman comes out and she's like, have you ever been here before? And it's me and another person. And we were like, no, I've never been. And we're like, follow me. She just walks down to this hall, points at all these rooms. This is the couch room, this is the cushion room, and all this kind of stuff. Points all this place, and I was like, oh my god, it's a brothel.
100%.
Walk up the stairs, walk around, and then just like, do you know those like tiny tables that are like 6 inches off the ground, and there's just a little cushion. You sit down, and you're like,
oh yeah, zen as fuck.
yeah, there's a load of them. You get a little booth, and you sit down at one of them. Then they bring up like these, they like give you a menu, and it had like 60 different types of tea and like 20 different types of shisha.
Ooh, yeah.
But
classy.
I'd never had any of this kind of stuff. And like I've had tea, obviously, fucking Barry's and Lions and shit like that. This is a different kettle of fish, or a different kettle of tea. Oh, right there.
That was awful, man.
Terrible. I was thinking about that about 2 weeks. 2 weeks in the making there. Went to the yoke, got all these fancy teas, and I was like, ooh, I'm a fancy lady. But when I sent like Snapchats out of it, like look at me. I probably sent it.
Yeah, I got one with tea. I thought you looked like a fancy. I thought you were just like in a fancy Starbucks or something.
Nah, man, this is an underground tea room that had like shisha and shit like that. But I sent that out to everyone, and Tom snapped me back. Was like, "Is that the tea rooms?" Because that's the name of the place. And I was like, "Yeah, it absolutely is. How did you know, Tom?" And he was like, "I go there the whole time." He was like, "Get on this."
Pussy on.
He was like, "Get on this mixed fruit shisha." And I was like, why are you putting fruit in your smoke? And then you time come up with this story. Man, he was pepperminting his different smokes. I can't believe I missed that. My head is absolutely gone.
That was so much fun. Actually, why weren't you at it?
Oh, and that because I went to the darts.
Clooney was riding the dart. He was doing the Hope to Greystones line.
Oh man, that's shocking. That's just the worst attempt at pander I've ever heard in my life. We are not half if that's the quality we're on. I dropped kettle of tea and you dropped a dart line. Man, get fucked.
As little banter as it would be to dart from Greystones to Hope. Man, I
nearly did that. Hang on, this is a stupid topic you put in.
No, wait. I have a very recent story where I took the dart for ages. We were recently.
Go for it, I suppose. Just see where this goes. Like.
No, but so over the last.
This is a shit end, and you're getting mugged off.
Over the last week, we were at this beer pong thing, right? And this was the reunion of a group of Irish lads and lasses. Explicitly lasses that were in New York over the summer, and we used to have beer pong every Monday. And then a big incident occurred. It involved like underage drinking and almost getting evicted and just too much banter. I think we were singing Fields of Athenry stomping the floor. Anyway.
Classic, whenever any Irish person ever leaves the country, become the most patriotic man alive.
Man, it's exactly
You're only a queen of Irish as well, you just go mad.
Right, so we kicked out of this gaff, couldn't beer pong anymore. Flash forward 6 months, beer pong reunion in Dublin, in Bray. So I'll drive down to Bray, my mate Dave, shout out to Dave, you prick. So he drives us down.
Yeah, you have different mates.
And we get, they're New York mates.
You're still talking to them?
Am I still talking to them? Yeah? What? You got a problem?
Yeah, a little.
You jealous, man?
Go talk about fucking Dave.
But so we go down and we're playing murder ball. Have you ever played murder ball?
No.
Oh man, it's insane.
Fuck it.
Everyone gets a cup, around a middle cup, and a ping pong ball. So you pour some of your beer into your cup and the middle cup. So the middle cup's massive. Everyone has like a little bit of beer, like beer pong amount in each one. And then you're bouncing the ball and then into one of the cups. If it gets in your cup, down the drink, flip the cup, 3 tries. If you don't land it straight upside down, you're out. If you do, you just refill your cup, keep playing. But then if someone gets it in the middle cup, everyone has to down their drink and everyone has to flip. And the last person to flip their cup is out and has to down the middle one.
That sounds class.
And then every time someone's out, you start again, refill the middle one. So it goes on for ages. Like we had one with like 15 people, and by the time you're good at flipping by the end of it. So you just have to down your drink every time.
By
the end of it, you are murdered. Absolutely, like seriously, it's in the name. You're dead. But we were playing that. We were playing beer pong. We were sipping away beers the whole night. The lads who were running the party, whose gaff it was, he bought 20 crates of Miller. Stop. So there was so much beer.
Shout out to Katie.
Speaking of Miller, but so everyone was fucking gallivanted, and when we were in New York, there was all this like romance between the lads, and like there was fucking fights and stuff, and it all kind of died down, and we came back and it was grand. But after fucking crate of Miller each, we were just like it all came back. Everyone was shifting who they were shifting in New York, and like fighting who they were fighting in no comment. And so I woke up.
We'll have to get the story off air.
You might have to get the story off air.
We can bleep like a whole story. We can bleep like 5 minutes. Just say nothing.
Bleep.
Please jump to 4 minutes. Bleep.
Bleep. We don't cut it out. We just bleep. Like full volume bleeps.
My God.
But yeah, so I woke up in this bed that I wasn't supposed. But anyway, because we planned to stay in the gap, and I woke up in a situation that I was like not really willing to wake up in. But anyway, so I 7:40 woke up, checked the phone. I'll tell you off air. I'm not telling you on air.
I just want to throw in there. I asked you the other day, how did that go? I got no response. So I know exactly what he's on about. You're snake in the grass. Gotta go for the bishop.
So 7:40 on a Sunday morning, wake up in this gaff, and the whole gaff is sticky, and there's beer everywhere. It's filthy.
It's a dirty dog.
Fuck you, man.
Nailed it. The banter is back.
There's people like curled up on every horizontal surface sleeping. There's just like grime everywhere and like just empty beers and everything. And I'm just like getting up and getting dressed like, in the horror. I'm still absolutely plastered drunk. And I grab all my gear, get out, get to the train station for like 5 to 8 kind of thing in Bray. And the first train from Bray leaves at 9 in the morning. So I'm an hour and 5 minutes away from the train. And I'm sitting there just like absolutely hanging on a wall. Like there's no...
Bray to your house is miles away as well.
So far. So I'm waiting there and I'm like, I'll try like fucking sleep standing up and shit. Like trying everything. And
I would have loved to see that mall.
There's all like scaldy bastards walking around Bray at 8 in the morning. Like,
the only people walking around Bray at 8 in the morning is lads walking dogs and lads have nowhere else to go.
This lad rolls up and he's like... he rolls up to me and because of my current state, he was
mangled head.
He was blurry in the distance, and then he arrived up close and he was still blurry, and I was like, I kind of wiggled my eyes and he came with the bug. Right, so he rolls up to me, this blur, on a bike, and he's like, "Hello, sir. I just I was wondering, do you know what time the first dart is?" And I was just like, I was blinking at this lad, like just one eye at a time, like just blinking at him. And I see that his nose is absolutely like cut up, his face is battered, his clothes are all dirty and grimy and shit. I'm like, fuck. And then I was like, I think it's at 9, man. And he's like, alright. And then he like goes around and sneaks onto the dart, like without paying and all. And he was like changing on the dart and stuff. Weird bloke. There's all these weird taxi men, one massive fat lad, like I swear he's like 4 men in one, just absolutely eyeballing me the whole time. He was chatting to his mate here, but he wouldn't stop like just absolutely eyeballing me. It was creepy. Then I actually got on the train and was hanging on a 45 to 50 minute dart ride.
It's awesome.
Oh, it's just absolutely curled up. People, the dart filled out. Like, people were going to house and stuff, and they all sat in every seat except me. I was alone there, like, charging my phone, this little plug. And I was there like this, looking absolutely ill. Looked like I was about to vomit. And everyone was on, like, every other seat was full, and people were standing and stuff. And I was sitting there, 2 empty seats in front of me, empty seat beside me. Hanging.
As an aside to your story, I have an update to a previous story.
Oh, yeah.
I am STI clear as of yesterday.
Yes. He just remembered it in his eyes.
Yeah, ladies form an orderly queue, disease free.
Men too. No, just come on.
Yeah, absolutely. But
you just, we were talking about darts and riding the dart.
No.
It reminded me, it was fucking awful.
No, what reminded me of STIs was you should go for a check, kid. You're getting around a bit. And you can say all you want. What a sub of a Johnny used the other night, was there?
Man, I told you I'd tell you the story off air.
Because you're gonna wait.
Sorry, my mouth is full. Clooney brought vegan snacks. And by that, he just means like a fruit bowl.
Yeah, I said I have vegan snacks, but it was just a bowl of fruit. As vegan as I get, man. Fuck that. But yeah, you didn't use a condom and you probably have AIDS. Get your act together, kid.
I could have AIDS.
You could. I can't.
Well, okay, fair.
Yeah, I am.
You were
AIDS.
cleared. Actually, do you know what you're cleared of? Did I give you a list?
Yeah, AIDS, syphilis, HIV, gonorrhea, chlamydia, and there's a couple of other weird ones that are like gay diseases. They were like very much aimed at gay men. Weird ones, like I can't remember names.
I'd say
just
very painful ones as well.
just letters, like
Ooh.
if you don't recognise the STI they're testing you for, you don't want it. You don't want it. Like if I get to clap, I'm like, nah, it's the clap. Everyone gets it.
Yeah, it's so common they have a nickname for it. Like.
Yeah. But yeah. So I am clear, unreal. But back to the darts, which are absolute tangent there.
Yeah.
Which you wouldn't finish by telling us how much you boned your lady friend / male friend. I'm gonna say lady friend because I know exactly who it is, but it's a lady friend. Yeah.
Here, go on. Tell your story because I got one video and that's it from the darts, and it looked like every rowdy creature you've ever seen in one room. It was massive, like a stadium. How many is in the OT? 14,000 or something?
Something like that.
Imagine 14,000 of
And it was
the
packed.
rowdiest middle-aged men. of all time.
yeah.
So there's no limited funds. They're all buying as much beer as they can intake.
That's exactly. There's good for young people, but there's a hell of a lot of 40-year-old men
Yeah.
who are big gut fucking darts fans
Mm-hmm.
that just love the session. Like when I watched it, like there's a few tellies you think we are well back,
Yeah.
but you can still see the dartboard. You can't see exactly the score, so you watch the telly for it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking you could put a dart because the dartboard at one side, you could put a pool table at the other side and a jukebox in the other corner, and it's just a big session. No one gives a fuck who
It's
wins
a
the darts.
session, but in large.
Let's have 14,000 fellas get in the horrors and just see what happens. And what happens is, but it's all like good natured fun. Like there's no fights at the darts.
Yeah, no, it's
You're not gonna get 14,000 people together and there'll be no fights. Only when there's something like darts. Everyone dressed up like there was like out of 14,000. I'd say there was at least 15,000 banana costumes around.
Oh,
like.
yeah.
Everyone was on absolute tear. Superheroes and fucking nuns and all that kind of shit. Like
But see, the darts isn't like the football. The football, it's literally 50-50. The fans hate each other.
yeah,
In the darts,
but
no one knows who any is playing.
But
Who's playing?
it was weird. It's the same fans. Like. It's the same middle-aged men that are just like
Yeah, they're not-
They just go with a different mentality to different ones. Like
Easy. Oh, but like darts, I've watched darts on the TV and all.
It's
It
such
is pure bad.
I recommend it to anyways. It was 35 quid for a ticket, but like just go because it's so good. Absolute experience. It's coming back to Dublin in October. Get it. It's out in the City West End. Well worth an adventure.
Nice one. We won't be here for that.
Oh yeah. Someone else, listeners.
Yeah, someone hit it up and we'll go to the darts in London and we'll comment on
Yeah.
that when the time comes.
Yeah, 'cause we will be doing these from London.
Oh, we will.
The first one we have to like make a big deal of it. It was like visitor parking international. We get like
We can record it on a plane.
oh my god, we can record on a plane. we would be the most annoying people ever on the plane.
Right, what we have to do, right, because the flight from here to London is like 30 minutes. So we have to organise the flight from Shannon, just so we have long enough in the air to get a full podcast.
We record it in the airport while we're getting kind of steamed, and then we get rowdy as fuck in on this plane. Sit down, it's like a baby cry.
Steamed.
Yeah, we have to do this drunk as well. There's 2 episode ideas. I'm writing them down. Drunk.
Stay tuned to Listener Parking for a drunk
Plane
and airplane app. The airplane one is literally just gonna be us chatting, and then in the background just hear like
and then like a baby, and then someone going, lads, will you shut the fuck up? And then we'll have a big row. Speaking of a big row, got in a row Friday night. And
nice.
I don't know if I said it on air or if I just said it to you, that I hadn't had a row in ages. I was like, I'm really good lately. Absolute no hassle, no nothing.
Yeah.
Absolute hassle the other night.
What was the hassle?
So it was my friend's 21st. So I finished the darts went to darts on Thursday. Mm-hmm. Woke up Friday morning, dying.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely dying. I was with me like
in a banana suit. Sleeping next to someone in a banana suit.
Woke up dying. Went out with like my father and my uncle. So they're like middle-aged men drinkers. I could not hack that.
Yeah.
I've gone so shit at drinking lately. But I just got mangled. But I knew I was getting ready for it, because I knew I was going out Thursday, Friday and Saturday. So I was in an absolute, I had a drinking head with me, like I'm going on the tear tonight, tomorrow and the next day. So I arrived down in Waterford and as the 21st. So I drank me and mates house. Because we were with him all day, so we went out, we bought crates and crates of drink. Brought all back to his house. And then he invited lads, the party over to his house first. Then they go to the venue of the party. Then they go back to his house.
Of course.
So we're pre-drinking in the house and everyone brings their own drink. No one drinks the free drink.
Yeah.
And then no one finishes their own drink. So there's more drink after the session than before. So then we fuck off. The place closes up at like 12:30, 1 o'clock. We all pegged into town. I didn't remember going into town. Like we went into Watford, and because I eventually woke up the next day at like 4:30 in the day, and I was like chatting to the lads, and it was about 6 o'clock. I was like, man, we in town last night. That was 1 o'clock. I'm already like missing from 1 o'clock, but there's bits that come in and out.
Yeah.
So we eventually get a taxi back out to your man's house for an after session.
There's more beer than when you start.
Beer everywhere. So we all sit down. We're like drinking away.
Now that you mention it, I got Snapchats of this.
I had it in my story. It was
people were falling asleep, and you were there like, come on, lads.
I was shouting
so shit.
Because he's in college in Cork, so he had a lot of his Cork mates down, and none of them could hack it. They all fell asleep. So there was like 4 Waterford fellas still there at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and all these lads were asleep on chairs. So I had a video of me in their face going, "You soft fool!" And then I go down to another fella, "You soft fool!" And I just went around to all these people. But
you're such a culture, man.
So eventually everyone kind of trails off, and there's just like 3 of us in the kitchen, 3 of our mates, and then all the car people are straight around the house all asleep because the rest of the Waterford lads went home to bed. But my friend whose party it was, whose house it was, he was trying to sort all these car people out because all his friends came down, and there wasn't enough beds for them all. So he put like two people in his bed, and I was like, "Where are you going to stay?" And he's like, "Oh, I'll stay down on the couch." And he's got out with this girl now. It's his first girlfriend, and she came down to the party, and he was going to have him sleeping on one couch, her sleeping on like another couch. Well, 2 lads slept in his bed, and I was like, "I'm not having that." So I went up to her, went into the room, told the 2 lads to get out of the bed. I was like, "Just get out of the bed," and they were like, "Oh no, he told me to stay here." I was like, "Look, he can tell you all you want. Get out of his bed, stop being a dickhead." Like,
yeah.
So I got 2 lads out.
Let him get the ride or whatever.
Yeah,
or at least cuddle his young one.
No, he's going to feed her to death. He's going to destroy her. But
well, it depends if you can get it up after 12 straight hours.
He can. He's not. Animal. But so I got them out.
Just remembered another story. Keep talking.
But I got them out of the room anyway. And then so my friend and his girlfriend went to sleep in the bed then, and I was like, yeah, grand. I was like, because I wanted him to have a great night, his 21st, because he bought a spray for us. He got like fuck catering in, he got loads of drink and so that. He has a girlfriend now for the first time. He's gonna have a great laugh. So he's sleeping in his bed, and there's one fella kind of going around all night. I had like a little few words with him at the party because he kept trying to get in picture. We were trying to have a picture with all the lads from over. He kind of got in, and I kept telling him to get the fuck out, and I was just a bit salty that night, mate. You know, like
specifically at him, like
a bit, but I was kind of having like. There'd be other nights I'd leave stuff off. Like, I wasn't leaving that off this night. It was just whatever in my head. I was like, fuck them cunts or whatever. But he's chatting up to another girl that stayed in the house for the whole after session. 2 of them go up to bed. They stayed in one of the beds, And then we were like about 5 o'clock in the morning. We're all, so 3 of us downstairs, or there's only 3 left, we're all in the absolute horrors. And then your woman comes down the stairs and sits down with us, and she has a blanket on him. And then he comes down, they have a little row, and he goes back upstairs. And I'm like, "Oh, what's that?" So we asked your woman, and your woman's like, "Oh, he kept like trying it on with her, and she wasn't having any of it or whatever."
Yeah.
And so she left the room, and then I had an absolute cut off her. I just abused her, cause she was like, "Oh, I didn't want to do that because he's like kind of with my friend." I was like, "The fuck are you doing sitting on his lap all night then?" Should I calm up? I was steamed up and I was so salty. I was like, "No, she's playing the victim here now. Fuck this, it's her fault as well." So I just abused her, and like the 2 lads who were
so he was trying to cheat with her,
but not even cheating. They were just kind of riding. So it wouldn't have been cheating from him. He was well entitled to go for your woman, but your woman was like, "Oh, I don't want to." He keeps that's her riding her friend a few times, and maybe the friend liked him or something like that. But like, they're well entitled to ride, no big deal. But she changed her mind, didn't want it. Now he's salty over it and she's salty over it. But she's kind of playing the victim, saying, "Oh, I never had any intention of riding him," when she absolutely did. She's full of shit. So
okay, anyway, yeah, go on.
So I absolutely abuse her, and then he goes back upstairs. But then after I abuse her, she just closes her eyes and falls asleep on the chair. So we were like, all right, the 3 lads just kept drinking. Now, me and the other 2 boys.
Yeah.
We're still drinking away, chatting away. I hadn't seen any of the 2 boys in a while. One of the mates really back from New York, so I was like, yeah, just chatting away for the whole night. I hear your man that I just had a row with her go into my friend's room where he's in there with his girlfriend. Go in.
This lad is trying to piss you off.
But like, he's in there and he's chatting, and he's just chatting away to him. And I'm like kind of leaving it off, and I can hear it because they're right above me.
Yeah.
And I can just hear him. So he's raging, and now he's going in bitching about your young one to the couple. And I'm like, just get out of the room. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Let him fucking ride his young one.
Yeah. So I'm like, alright, I have enough. I go upstairs. I'm salty enough.
Yeah.
Your man is salty enough. It's going to be a terrible idea. Like. So I go up to the stairs, I walk in, and I'm like, get the fuck out of the room. No, well, man. It's instant row, and your man's like getting ratty with me. And 2 of us, I'm just like, get the fuck out of the room. We're all getting so salty. We're in each other's face, we're giving out. And like, I just see, you can just see, and I was like, he's never going to hit me first. I know he's not.
So like, did you hit him?
No. No, because I'm like, I don't want to ruin his mate's birthday.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm not hitting this cunt. But I know as well, he's not hitting me. You can just see, and I was like,
yeah.
So we're in each other's faces, round up. And then I look up at my friend, and I'm like, "What? Do you want me to hit this cunt? Get him out of the room?"
Yeah.
My friend's like, no, just leave here, leave in a minute. And I was like, well, look, if you don't want me here, grand. So I start walking down the stairs, and the man starts shouting at me, and I start shouting upstairs at him, "Go fuck yourself," or all that.
Yeah.
He runs down the stairs. I run back up the stairs. So we're like, we just got meet at the stairs. And then my 2 friends are downstairs. They're 2 massive men. Like, I'm a pretty small bloke. Your man is a little bit bigger than me, but he's not that big either. So one of my mates is in between us, and then so he jumps on your man because he's friends with both of us. Yeah. This fella, he's in college in Cork as well. So he like spears your man. Your man's coming down at me. My other friend comes behind me, like grabs me, and then my friend runs out of the bed. The fella in the bed with his girlfriend.
In the nip.
In the nip. He didn't come for a while. When we were like squaring up right next to his bed, he didn't move, and I was like, I wonder why he's not moving. Absolute dick out, semi hard on like. So he like gets out of bed, like lobbing on underpants, runs out of bed, catches your man. We're all like absolute, like it's 5 o'clock in the morning. The house is dead hours. It's just an absolute kerfuffle. We get dragged down. I'm getting pulled out down the stairs off me mate. I'll fucking kill you. I can't down. I get put in one room. I'm freaking out. He gets put in a different room, and then he eventually.
Children.
Oh, that's what freaks out.
Fucking hilarious.
But he eventually comes back into the room then. And for some reason, I wasn't that drunk as it's going on. Maybe I was just like sobered up, but I had me wits about me completely. And so he came down, and we're chatting away like that. So there's 2 of us sitting on a chair as close as we are now, chatting away after trying to kill each other 2 minutes earlier. There's like 5 people around us just in case something happens. Like. So it's like a little sit down, and we're chatting away. And it gets salty straight away, like we just tried to fight each other. So he's there. He's like, "Oh, what were you doing? You came up here starting all this." And I was like, "I didn't fuck start that. You should have got out of the room, whatever." And he was like, "Oh, I was being really calm." I was like, "Be calm." And tried to run down the stairs and throw digs. So I'm like, get back in his face again, and he was like, "No, I want calm. I was going to try and knock you out." I was like, "You can fucking try all you want. You can fucking pray." It's like we get started getting pulled away a bit again. I was like, "No, leave it. We'll have a chat here. We'll have a chat. Me, my new friend." I was trying to man like that. chatting away anyway, started out and then he was like, fair play. We're grand. Two of us just had a bottle then. And then I sent out another Snapchat about half an hour later. I had like a cut hand from the kind of open bottles or that. So I had like a picture of like a selfie of me and him. I had like a bloody hand, there's two of us like smiling, just trying to fight this fella.
I remember that.
It's a mad night.
That was a good Snapchat.
But and then we like finished up. So everyone else went to bed except me, him, and the two people that were with your friends that were already up. So there was four of us just right near the kitchen at like 7 o'clock in the morning. We're all there drinking away, and we're like, right, when's the first pub in Waterford open? So we're like, there's a sailor bar on the quay that opens up at 10 a.m. So like, right, we drink the rest of the drink here and we go into town. Strolled in, went into town to try and get a pint. Just woke up then and my nanny's at 4:30 in the day, like, oh my god. We all like, I woke up at 4:30, I was the first one up. The rest of the boys woke up at like 7, 6:30 on this. And we all met up at about 7:30. We're like, we go out again tonight, lads. Two of the boys were like touching death, just no sign. And then we were like, go on. By 8:30 we're all there with cans again, like, I don't believe this happened. Ended up in town again.
I have to come down for a walking session.
Yeah, absolutely do. Oh,
that sounds so good.
Like, that was such a rowdy session. The next one, we made Cleary's 21st. From bringing out, I think that's like the 5th of April.
I'll mark it on the calendar.
Mark it on the calendar, right?
Where is it?
I'll get him
to Aberdeen.
There. It's a Friday night, I think.
Friday night? That would be the 8th.
It's the 8th of April.
Working the next morning.
Cock.
Working for real dollars. Can't get rid of that.
Nah, we'll do the next one. There'll be more.
Alright, we'll sort it out.
But yeah, absolute rowdy weekend. I was only thinking when I was coming over here that like that loaded good bit of shit happened like in the last week that I was like, we have a lot to talk about tonight. Like. Well, I suppose that's my weekend was.
We want to hear about what you were doing on the way to the tea rooms or whatever.
Got a tattoo.
Think you got a tattoo?
Got it. I don't know whether to class it as tattoo number 2 or tattoo number 15.
See, Clooney, actually, get up the Instagram there. Now, you're listening, right? Get onto your phone, get onto the internet, type in Visitor Parking Instagram, and have a look at that tattoo.
Yeah, I'll put it up. I'll put up a picture I took of it last night, so it's only a couple of hours after it's done, so it's still like red.
Yeah,
and
it's all like flaky and stuff.
And there's a good bit of my body in it as well. I just want to say I had a big lunch that day.
He's looking good. He's looking good, ladies.
I can look better. I've had a big lunch.
Looking good, tatted up, STI free. Hit him up. DM Visitor Parking on Instagram.
That should absolutely be my Tinder. Looking well, tatted up, STI free. But yeah, I went and got a tattoo. I got 14 birds on my chest.
Did it hurt more or less than the last one?
Oh my god, it hurt more. It hurt so much.
Where exactly did it hurt? Did it hurt the whole thing?
It hurt the whole thing, but because what happened is, right, when I got the other one, so I have one on my hip as well, but one on the hip doesn't really go over any bone. Just that one little side bit, it goes over my actual hip bone. The rest is kind of just in the fleshy bit next to it. But you know when you're doing your tattoo, give me a look at it again.
It's bone, it goes over the bone now.
But no, the actual design. So like yours is kind of shaded, but it's mainly lines. It's not like big dark colours.
Oh yeah.
So what happened was my two tattoos are filled out. Mm-hmm. So what happens when the last ones is they'll do an outline with one needle, and it's really painful, and then they'll do colouring in with maybe 3 or 5, and it's not half as bad.
Yeah. I remember that because for the shading ones we use more.
Yeah, it's different pain, but the one needle goes. It must go in deeper or something like that. But it's fucking sore. What happened was the birds. So when you do the outline, it was so sore, and I was like, all right, I'll get to the shading now. He shaded in with the one needle because the things were so close together that the actual chunks, if you see him there,
yeah.
So like that or something like that, he's only going to shade that in with one needle. So it was sore the whole way, and like. There's not a lot of flesh between the fucking skin and the bone and the chest. Yeah. It really fucking hurt. The bit here, the sternum, it was so... That bird there absolutely wrecked me. I was sitting there like... And Sarah took a load of pictures of me, but I was kind of sitting there and it just got sore and sore as went on. I was getting salty a bit. Look at this bird. Look how massive it is.
And it's right there. You can feel the bone.
And it just kept going on and it took forever and I was counting down the birds. I was like... How many's left? Please be nearly done.
And he was like 12.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god. But yeah, it looks alright. I think.
I think it looks good. I showed it to a few people as well because you sent me pics, and you got very positive comments all around.
Yeah, a lot of people are liking it. But I went in. He kind of changed my mind on a few things. I wasn't going to go up on the shoulder. There's two or three birds up on the shoulder, and I think it looks way better. And it's not all black. I know it looks all black there.
Yeah.
But what happens is he done black. It's kind of smoky grey and lighter grey.
So like towards the edges of them, or different colour birds?
Different birds are different, so it's patchy, like there's different
Interesting.
ones. But it's not going to come out, he said. You'll first see it in a few days, but in 2 weeks you'll see the colour change. Because they all scab black.
Yeah. They will.
So if you look at the picture now, it'll be up on Instagram, it's all black. But like, you can see a little bit. I think it's one of these birds, that one is grey, I think.
Alright.
Might be able to see a little
that one looks a bit different.
Yeah, it could be that. But
the
like,
one just above his nipple, if you're looking.
Yeah. Oh, my absolute nips are on my Instagram now. How gone?
We'll censor it, man. Nips out. Free the nipple.
Yeah, it's going to be like the game again now.
Yeah.
I just thrown off Instagram. Just argue. Probably put my first tattoo up. It's pretty close to the dick.
Yeah.
Just get like a little like shot.
You're scared of this dick tattoo.
Jay, I got the tattoo. It's sore enough, but I like thing I might add to it and stuff like that.
Yeah, it looks good.
When you getting a nice one? Actually, don't answer that. That's part of something else I want to talk about.
Alright.
Let's do it. Teasers.
For this episode, I hope so. It's grand.
Yeah. So we're taking off shit quick on this. What number are we at?
Oh, I have to tell you this story because you brought up.
Yeah.
I don't know what made me think of it, but I think you were talking about like hearing sex or hearing something upstairs. Anyway, so as
absolutely wasn't, but let's go run with it. See what happens.
As
this coffee is stone cold.
Oh, it's nasty. I wish you had some more. Might do one for coffee in a minute. Anyway, so as being an ORA, you have to let people into their gaff. It's the main thing we do is people leave their shit, they're drunk. You have to leave them into their house. So this lad comes down and he's like, oh, I managed to lock myself out. Just went out into my kitchen. I thought my door was unlocked. It wasn't. Absolutely locked out. I was like, yeah, grand. We do one every 20 minutes. So I give him the yolk, fills out the form, we head upstairs. He's chatting away. This lad is usually a cunt. He's like, very regularly have to deal with this one lad in particular, and he's a cunt.
Like, what's he do?
He's just like, he just doesn't listen, he's rowdy, like he's lets his mates just fucking absolutely wreck shit. And he's just like a cunt. Fuck, just the whole time. He's just rowdy and annoying. But like, not too bad. But so this time he was being weirdly sound. And I was like, oh, this is weird. He's like actually being a sound bloke. So I'm chatting away to him, we're heading up in the lift. We open his apartment door. And as soon as I open the door to leave him in, I hear a man and a woman in one of the rooms.
Oh, unreal.
Like screaming. Like you'd hear them like the next apartment over, like, and it was like harder all the bullshit bed going he's fucking screaming all sorts of shit, and I'm like,
what sorts of shit? Don't say all sorts of shit. What sorts of shit?
Like freaking just like that. Stay that way. Yeah, call her a bitch and shit. Like all sorts of shit. Like full on, very private stuff. And I'm leaving him into the room across the hall. You can very clearly hear it from his room. I'm leaving him in, and I look at him like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, do you let that go on? Like, fucking tell him to shut up. And he was just kind of just like, yeah, happens. And I was like, what do you mean it happens, man? That was, man, if your roommates are there, it's 8 p.m. You keep it low, like.
I completely disagree. I think if he breaks that up, he's a prick. If anyone knocks on that, if you walk up that door and you hear that kind of absolute serious bang going on, and you break that up, you're a wanker. Like, maybe if it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, and you have an exam in 2 hours' time, that's the exact limit. If it's like 3:30 and you have exam at 7, you can get fucked, you're not breaking it up. 4 and you have an exam at 6, I'll leave. That's fair enough, you can break it up. Very specific. Yeah. Any other criteria, you leave that fella get his bit.
He can get his bit like half the volume. It was
half the volume, half the banter. Get fucked, man. Don't act like you would absolutely love that. You were into the weirdest shit, man.
Man, you keep bringing us on the podcast.
I was really thinking, just as I was about to say, I was like, I'm going to make sure everyone knows that he's an absolute freak in the sack. I can't wait to hear this story about last Saturday night.
That should be my Tinder profile. Freak in the sack.
No, it should,
possibly STI free.
it should just say Irresistible by Sean Clooney.
Irresistible in quotes, yeah. You have said that before.
Many times. I was thinking as well when we were talking about a lot of shit that happened in the last week. So I was running through that by the time the next episode comes up, I wonder what's going to have happened. And I was thinking, like, by the next episode, the Irish elections will have happened. We'll have a new government by the time it's the next episode.
Oh yeah, nice.
So it's like,
They could outlaw podcasting, man.
imagine that. Imagine Ender just took an absolute turn against podcasting. He was like, fuck them pricks. Oh, we could be underground, we'd be way sexier.
Oh my god. We'd get like twice as many women. But 2 times
2-0.
zero.
We both went for it. No pussy. And did you hear about this?
I didn't. I heard that you were talking about this
I remember
today, but I wasn't listening, so I was doing something else.
on the first episode, I talked about how I got a load of new news apps,
Yes.
and I have not looked at any of them once. Absolutely, it was a great idea. Terribly executed.
I could have told you that. You were never going to look at them.
But I accidentally set up notifications on a few of them and never turned them off. So one of them keeps sending me these notifications, and it's like, but it's always on American time. So I get like notifications 4 o'clock in the morning, and I only wake up to them. So like, oh, it's like a news boost when I wake up. This morning I woke up and had like Trump won some in the Nevada caucus. Remember, I made an absolute prediction that he's going to stonewall win that Republican vote all day. But did you hear about? He won the caucus, right? And there was like 1,000 people voted. They called it after I think it was 1,000 votes.
There was 1,000 people voting?
No, like there could be 100,000 people voted. After 1,000 votes, they were like, "Oh, Trump won."
How?
Because he had such a landslide in that 1,000 that like whatever, it's a big enough sample size to predict what happened for the rest. I was like, it's over, he won.
So they picked like a random 1,000 and he won 90% of them or something?
Something crazy like that.
So they were
but
like,
called
unless something crazy happens, he's won.
But they didn't even check if it was crazy. They just called it he won. Yeah. How mental is that?
Surely they checked the rest of them.
Probably checking it now. But they called it before they checked it.
Weird.
And David was telling me that
I can't believe he's doing that well.
that CNN called it before there was a vote counted.
Weird.
That they called it from exit polls. He had such a landslide on anyone they'd asked that it was like,
It is Nevada though, to be fair.
I don't know, I like Nevada. Never been there, that's a speculation. They have Vegas and like, Vegas looks fun.
Man, I think we should stop mentioning David. Because if he's not going to listen,
We actually mentioned like 5 times.
he shouldn't get all these shoutouts.
Fuck you, Dave. Keen, you can have 2.
Yeah, shout out to Keane Lawler.
Die hard subscriber.
What a bloke.
Ah, fuck him.
Fuck Dave.
Um,
Also, Trump. I really hope he doesn't win, man.
I absolutely hope he does.
Just because I hate that bloke.
I had this big discussion about Irish politics and the horrors that we made the other day when we were walking to the pub 10 o'clock in the morning. So that's the best time to have them discussions.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm so sick of like Irish politics being so boring. Give me like a fucking Donald Trump. I'll vote for that cunt. I was like, fuck it. Throw like someone mental like Hitler up there. I'd be like, man, that's exciting. I'm voting for him. And he got in. He was democratically elected, that Hitler lad. And then you give me
That Hitler lad.
Think me a good name for this one. Shout out to Seamus there.
People who know Seamus know that's racist.
Seamus is German.
Oh, man. Another thing happened recently. McGregor fight. Oh.
The hell is gone.
Dos Anjos slipped and fell at the thought of fighting McGregor and absolutely wrecked his foot or something. I actually don't know anything about the specific of how he broke his foot. But he broke his foot. Kicked the lad so hard in the face that he broke his foot. But so now who's he fighting?
Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz.
I think we should give some background because we talk about this kind of stuff a lot. MMA. We haven't talked about it yet. I was checking it. It's actually pretty surprising because it's my only hobby.
True.
It's pretty much I do podcasting and like today I was texting Jake like, come on, we do the podcast, and he was like, no, I have to do work, and I was like, oh, I'm bored. I got in a Instagram argument with some fella on an MMA site.
Yeah, Clooney was like, here, I'm coming over now. And I was like, I need another hour to do work. So he had an hour of just free time.
Well, I just Instagram argued with that.
Just argue with some bloke.
I should
Should have called me in, just tagged me on Instagram.
What you should do is, anyone that's listening, if you look up the page so_you_wanna_be_a_fighter. That's the page I was arguing on.
Look up Clooney's fight. Also, you might be able to find his personal Twitter that way.
Oh no, it's on Instagram. Oh no.
Oh shit. Find his personal Instagram.
You can also find it out as I'm one of the 12 followers of the Visitor Parking Instagram. What I call it, Sean Clooney.
It wouldn't be very hard to find me either.
Yeah, Jake M. Dorn is there too, kids.
Bleep.
I'm very sure Keen Lawler is there as well. Keen, your cat.
Bleep. The whole episode is a big massive bleep.
But like, that's all I do. It's my only hobby is MMA. Absolutely love it. Just follow it and follow all of the stuff. And I found out this news about Dos Anjos. My heart was genuinely broken.
Oh, I was so excited for that fight. I would have become the rowdiest man on earth at that fight.
It would have set up so many stuff. Like, he wins that. He's two-way world champion. Then he's fighting the UFC 200. He's signed on to do that in MGM in Vegas. He's 100% going to be the main event.
Oh yeah,
100%. There's not a bigger star in the sport. He's going to be the main event.
Easily, biggest star.
If he wins, of course. Nate is a whole bag kettle of fish for him. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah. So like he set up for that. So he's the 155 champion. 200 he drops fights Frankie Edgar for the 145 title. Amazing. Or he goes insane and jumps up and fights Robbie Lawler at 170. Which is absolute carnage.
That would be such a mess of a fight. That would be insane.
That would be like unspeakably the biggest thing to happen in MMA ever. Bigger than Chuck Randy, bigger than fucking Crow Cop, any of them boys back in the Pride days. Bigger than any of them.
So what are we talking timeline now? Because if he's fighting Nate,
he's fighting 200 again. So he's gonna fight he's gonna fight
196.
Yeah.
And then he's fighting 200.
Yeah.
Do you know who he's fighting at 200? He'll fight.
He probably Dos Anjos. Dos Anjos going to be out for 6 weeks.
Dos Anjos out for 6 weeks. 200 is in July, isn't it?
I think so. It's sometime in mid to late summer.
So 6 weeks. He's back middle of May or something.
Yeah, like he'll be back and ready for.
What are we talking?
He'll have enough to get a cancer on that.
4, 5, 6. Oh, he's back in the middle of April. So Dos Anjos is back at least out of the hospital or out of recovery or whatever.
But he can start training again in 6 weeks. Rumours say, but he'd have to have a good camp because he finds 155 hard to make. Whatever way his body is structured, even though he is similar size to slightly smaller McGregor.
Is he not the champion?
Yeah, but he still finds it hard to make that weight. Like McGregor finds it super hard to make the 145 weight.
Yeah,
he makes it, but he's a champ.
Yeah,
that just means you're very big for the weight.
Yeah, fair. I mean, if you can make it, if you make it on the day, you make it on the day.
The only fella I know that used to fight at the walking weight was Frankie Edgar.
Weird.
Frankie Edgar used to fight 155 pounds, and he can easy make 135.
He's a small bloke.
Small bloke. He fights he was the world champion. He had what do you have? He bet BJ Penn to win the title, then retained the title against BJ, drew against Maynard, so we kept that, bet Maynard, and then lost 2 split decisions to fucking Benson Henderson. He had 6 lightweight title fights in a row at his walking weight. Then dropped weight and fought for the title against Jose Aldo. He had 7 title fights in a row.
I'd like to just...
That's insane.
I'd like to just at this point point out that Clooney is... This is probably the only time... This and sex are probably the only times you ever focus in your life.
Yeah, it gets so...
You should have...
and to be fair, the mind wanders during sex.
He's just confirmed massive MMA nerd, and you should have that was the most focused and intense I've ever seen you.
If I could somehow make physics MMA, if I could study this shit, I'd be laughing. But
wait, so is Nate Diaz... what's his walking weight? Is the same as McGregor? It's up there.
Probably a little bit bigger McGregor.
A little bit bigger, and they're fighting at what weight?
170 pounds. McGregor walks around 170. I think his walking weight the last time before he started his camp was 176 pounds, something like that.
So he only has to cut
He doesn't have to cut at all. He'll be training. He'd be walking now after a full camp 170.
Well, you might have to cut a little bit,
Maybe I think he started cutting 171.
What do you have to what range of weights can you be? Can you be anything from 160 to 170 to fight at
155 to 170.
Oh,
can be
yeah,
100
yeah. Sorry.
You can be 100 because you're allowed 1 pound over. So if you're 157 pounds, you don't make lightweight and you're a welterweight.
Ah, okay.
Cause
So anything from 157 up to 171, you're allowed.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice one.
But so Nate Diaz fights lightweight and welterweight, mainly lightweight. But he has issues getting to the lightweight weight, and he couldn't.
So the pair of them, they're gonna just be walking weight fighting.
Nate will have to cut time, I'd say.
He's probably like 180 something, is he?
175, 177, something like that.
Nice one.
Tiny cut. Fellas who cut him 155 for years, laughing. I absolutely love Nate Diaz. He won.
So wait, predictions. How's it gonna go? Who's gonna win?
I don't have a clue. I'll talk about it now. But Nate won the Ultimate Fighter 4.
Mm-hmm.
It's Ultimate Fighter 22 now.
Wow.
Wait, and there's more than 22 seasons because there was ones in between. Like there was like Ultimate Fighter Brazil and stuff like that. The splinter ones. There's fucking.
Yeah. So he's fighting 20 something.
Yeah.
Seasons.
Yeah, so it used to be about 2 seasons a year. But he's fighting he's fighting a long time. Like his brother Nick is legend in sport. Like one of the pioneers of the sport.
Sweet.
The two of them are absolute legends. Look up there's like YouTube documentaries about Nick Diaz. Look up that, and Nate's just the exact same for his younger brother. So Nate got into the Ultimate Fighter kind of off Nick's reputation.
Yeah.
Like Nick fought GSP, Nick fought Anderson Silva, all the real fucking greats of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Nick is absolutely up there. Never held the title, but never held the UFC title. He was Strikeforce champion, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But he's insane. Like they're just angry men. They're from Stockton in California, I think it's Stockton is.
Sure.
But they're like real rough fucking Hispanic lads like that. When you look at them, you can see some lads that are like competitors and some lads that are fighters. And like you see lads that are, it's a sport to them, and other lads it's a fight to them. To these boys it's a fight. They have no plan of what they're going to do next.
McGregor seems like a competitor kind of guy.
I think he's a bit of both. I think he's a bit kind of a business manager as well. But there's definitely a fight in him where he
gets calm towards like
he gets scared. He can. These lads get aggressive and stuff like that. But if you watch Nick and Nate, like they do their weigh-ins in jeans.
Oh, weird.
Like they take the weight off, but they walk their weigh-ins in jeans, take them off, put the jeans back on, they get in their man's face. Like they've had so many rows at weigh-ins.
Weird.
They had a brawl at a World Series of Fighting. That's a different organisation from the UFC, WSOF. They had a brawl against another UFC fighter in the crowd at that. There's brawls at their matches, at their fights the whole time in the crowd because they're rowdy fans. Like
madness.
Nick Diaz bet Robbie Lawler, who's the welterweight champion now, knocked him out. And they're both jiu-jitsu fighters, mainly. Both Gracie jiu-jitsu fighters.
But he knocked him out.
He knocked him out, and he's done this a few times. He'll fight a striker and just stand on him, being like, bitch, what the fuck, bitch. But Robbie Lawler was killing lads. And Nick ruined his career. Because Robbie Lawler was doing unreal, then dipped off for years after he got bet off Nick Diaz. Mm-hmm. Nick just kept standing up there and we just kept smacking him and be like, Stockton, motherfucker, Stockton, 209. He just kept hitting him like that. And Robbie Lawler's head was just gone and he just clipped him and he knocked him out. He fought a fella called Paul Daly as well. I bet
he sounds like a proper gangster.
He's fucking brilliant. Anyone that doesn't know, or you, get on YouTube straight away this and do Nick Diaz.
Man, for anyone who's like, I can imagine Katie's just not having any of this. I think if you're still listening, at least listen for the passion that this man has for this, because it's the most passionate thing he has in his life. He's the most passionate about this.
Yeah, we won't do this often because I was like, we should talk about it more. No, we shouldn't, because I'm going to go off on a mad tangent. But I remember Joe Rogan.
Because compared to you, I know literally nothing about this, and you're just spouting all these facts.
But I remember Joe Rogan described. It was like, how would you describe Nick Diaz? I think it could be Joe Rogan, could be Dana White. I'm not sure, but it was like. You ask Nick a question, he'll tell you fuck you, whether he knows the answer. And he knows the answer, but why should he answer to you? Fuck you. What a mentality. But Nate's the exact same. It's so good.
So that'll be a good fight.
The build up is going to be. There was a live.
Because there's 11 days as we're recording this. This day's almost over. There's pretty much 10 days to it. Like.
Today was the start. There's a press conference went on. I think it's going on now. Could be going on either an hour ago or now. We could get on YouTube soon.
Nice.
Check that out. Press conference is going to be so good. I'm so excited, obviously. Right. Let's just get off this before I absolutely ruin the podcast.
Alright, so I had this idea for.
We both did. We both came to each other with two ideas that we think we should run with and be like weekly features.
Okay. What's yours?
No, I'll talk too much now. You go.
Okay, well, I had decided that we'd do a would you rather, and I've seen someone else do this before, but
Plagiarism, man.
it's a free website that exists.
So I get charged.
Oh crap! Shit! Oh, my laptop wasn't charged. So there's a website called rather.com or some shit like that, right? And it is just would you rather questions, and I'm quite interested in your opinion on these kind of things usually, and I think listeners would be as well.
I think we should chat.
Because our opinions are probably correct. So alright, so I'm just gonna lob one would you rather questions at you and we'll chat about it. So, would you rather be the last human left on Earth or just be dead?
Be dead, easy, very easy.
Have you seen I Am Legend though?
Yeah, and that fella went insane.
Yeah, but you can
I
always
can't have a dog though. Fuck that. If I had a dog, maybe.
last human on Earth, man.
There's a load of animals. Like a Tarzan about, like.
Absolutely. And like
well, like how bored you like first day you're like, oh lads, you go around just fucking robbing shops and just driving cars around. You have about 50 wanks in the street, no one gives a shit. It get boring quickly.
yeah, but then you can off yourself.
But then you'd just rather be dead. Like
No, but you have the
so
fun.
that means your two options there are be dead today or have a fun day and be dead tomorrow. Obviously the fun day, bro. I'm assuming be the last human on Earth means you stay around till you die of natural causes. Be dead straight away.
Man, if I'm doing fun shit, there's no way I'm dying of natural causes. I'm driving my Lamborghini that I found too fast and I'm going into a wall.
That's natural cause. You can put get off your chops on like a bag of coke and try and do it on there. Like,
You find, like, assuming everyone on Earth just disappears, there'll be loads of clothes lying around, and in some of them clothes there's going to be bags of cocaine.
yeah. I still think be dead.
Alright, so which one are we clicking? And when we click, we find out how many people agree with us.
Well, I'm gonna say we click be dead, but I'm gonna say more than 80% of people would pick be dead.
You're calling it?
I'm calling that right now.
Oh,
45 on a bag of shite, not even
55,
close.
45, that was close. Nah, shit. No. Nah, shit as well. Man, loads of these are shit actually.
You need to plan this out.
Would you rather attend the royal wedding, or have attended the royal wedding, or have attended the Olympics?
Well, I want to clarify first of all which royal wedding. It's fucking Queen of
The
Sweden.
one that was on around the same time. In England.
What country? England?
Yeah.
Don't just say the. It's not my fucking royal family.
To be fair, it says if you travelled to England recently. Man,
Okay, so I specified the question.
I'd
just
definitely pick Olympics. Easily.
absolutely. But I don't like this. I had a rant about this at the end of episode 1.5 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they are not my fucking royal family, so they're not the royal family. There's fucking ones in Spain, there's ones in Sweden. I'm equally as tied to Sweden and Spain and England. Fuck tied to none of them, pricks. The same with America. It's like, oh, I wonder who's going to be the president. No, the president of America. My president's Michael D. He's a little fucking legend of a poet. Leave that lad do his thing. He's my president. If you say the president, I think Michael D. Not taking fucking Donald Trump. Get fucked.
Would you rather be a rock star or be a movie star? We're assuming you're like one of the most famous of each.
Yeah.
So either you're like Anthony Kiedis and one of the boys from Red Hot Chili Peppers, or one of the guys from U2, Bono or something, or you're Leo or fucking, you know.
I want to be young, so give me better people. We call like fucking.
You want to be young? Nah, it's about the profession, man. Which profession would you rather have?
If I'm 22 and a rock star, 22 and a movie star.
Okay.
21
Your
or
current
not.
age. Alright,
Yeah.
so say you wake up tomorrow and you're one or the other. Either you have a massive gig to play in like fucking you're one of the headliners or something like Glastonbury, or you're in a fucking next Oscar film or something. Which one are you waking up to?
I'm gonna say movie star.
Why?
I think you're better preserved in a movie than a rock star.
Or
Rock
the
stars,
albums and shit.
yeah, like get your albums straight, but you can't be seen. You can just kind of hear you. You can see and hear you, and you remember when you're like young and pretty and shit like that. Where you get like, you're a rock star. You're mainly gonna be remembered for your tunes. Like you think of Mick Jagger now. Do you think of Mick Jagger that's kind of old and wrinkly, or the Mick Jagger back in the 50s? I think of the old wrinkly lad.
That's because he's still about. But the lads who dropped off the earth at like 40, and not dropped off, but like think Dave Grohl. How old's that bloke? Late
He's
30s
about
or something?
4 million. He's Mid-50s, if he's a date. Dave, he was in Nirvana, man. He having a giraffe.
Oh, he was... Alright, so he's 50.
I'm calling 56 on him now.
56?
And I think I could be undershooting that.
No.
He's about 4. He's around forever.
Nirvana is late 80s, early 90s, and he was easily like 21.
He was 35 in that.
I don't know. No,
Probably not. I'm probably pushing it too far now.
You're right. He was 39. 47.
That's exactly what I said.
I don't remember what you said, but we can listen back, man.
For any of the listeners that just listen, I clearly said 47. Yeah.
We'll just go back and you say
Beep and then reinsert it. 47.
I'm gonna hit movie star because it's just better.
Yeah. 2/3 movie star. I call it. I win.
Some of these questions are awful.
Oh, that's good.
Would you rather be attractive and poor or be ugly and rich? Now, before you answer, I think you're gonna say be attractive and poor.
Why?
I don't know, you have a weird thing for being attractive.
Like, it's not even a question. Attractive and poor. And like all day.
But see, if you're attractive and poor, you could eventually be rich. But also, like, as in.
That's what I think. I think you can make money out of being attractive, and you can also spend your money to make you good looking.
So you'd rather go the other way.
Yeah.
Be naturally attractive.
Yeah, I think that no matter how much fucking work you get done, you can make yourself look as good as possible. But if you're just ugly, you're just ugly. But if you're attractive and poor, you can always not be poor. You could be a rent boy. Make some good money being a rent boy.
Because you're an attractive rent boy.
Yeah, absolutely. You're top dollar.
Alright, I'm gonna say it's like 90 to 10 on this.
I think everyone's gonna say attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, a lot closer we go.
Maybe people are assuming it's for life.
Yeah, like, but even for life, I'll still go with that.
Would you rather lose your right thumb or lose your right index and middle finger?
Meh. That's a shit question.
Man, I'm absolutely losing my fingers.
What I think we should do is, for next week's one, because I think it's a good idea, but I think it was poorly executed today because there's too many shit ones.
To be honest, I didn't really know how the site worked.
Yeah. Half an hour beforehand, we flick through, pick 5 or 6 good ones.
We each pick.
Yeah.
And I'll ask you ones and you ask me ones.
Yes,
good shout.
Yeah, so that's just better organised for the next time. But I think that's a good thing because it's good, like, it get everyone kind of getting a bit rowdy. You always get rowdy with a good would you rather, like. Right.
Okay. Now tell me your.
My feature.
Because you've just written. You wrote what mine was, but you were cryptic and you wrote my feature.
Because mine has to be dropped to you secretly, because it's not secretly on air, but I mean the opposite of secretly.
Very publicly.
Yeah. So what? Very publicly, like 30 viewers, man. That's more publicly than here, I suppose. Yeah. But like this is my feature because when I was thinking, how do we get people that listened this week to listen next week? What's the point? Like if it's not if you listen to episode 2 and not 3 and then 4, you didn't miss that. Like there's nothing that has to follow through. There's no link. There's no reason for you to go, I won't listen to this week, I'll listen next week or something like that. Like, no, you want them to be like, oh, I can't believe what's going to happen next week or whatever. Like, you want them to be tuned in. So you want to have a running thing.
Yeah.
I think I have a good running thing, right?
Okay, go on.
And one, it gets me doing something I want to do, and it will get you doing something you don't want to do, right?
Fuck. What is that?
I think we should have to pick something each week, right? So one of us picks something this week that we have to have done by the 2 episodes time. So
okay,
if I pick something this week, something I want to have, so I have a list of stuff I want to have done by the time we go to London.
Yeah.
And I made this list like a couple of months ago, and I think it was 10 things on it. I done one thing.
Okay.
So like
before we go to London, so you have till September, right?
Yeah, but at this rate, in like one thing a month, I'm not gonna get it done.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be chunks where I'm just not doing shit and sort of that. But what I'm thinking, if you say it on the podcast, everyone who listen knows, and you look like a mug in 2 weeks if you don't have it done. So you're forced. It pushes you to do the shit. So you pick a realistic thing you can do in 2 weeks, and then so what happens is I'll pick something this week. I'll say something that I'll have done in 2 weeks. I'll give you a week to think about it, and then next week you say what you're gonna have done.
Oh, and then we're offsetting.
Then we're offsetting. So
Laughing.
what happens is we'll do this week's where I pick something.
Yeah.
Then next week you pick something and I'll tell you how my thing is going. Then in 2 weeks' time I tell you how it went, and I'll pick a new thing. And then the following week you tell me how it went, and in that episode you tell me how it's going, and I'll tell you how it went. It keeps moving on like that.
Perfect.
I think that's a good idea, because then like if I say something today that's good, or something like, because I want to do like decent shit, like not like
I want to hear
go
your
have
example. Right, what is your thing you want to do?
On my list, right, I have a couple of things. One of them is I want to do 5 minutes of stand-up comedy. I'm going to do that eventually. I don't think I'll do it the first week because I might bottle it. But then you're pushing it. In 2 weeks' time I'm going to say that one.
Alright.
So what I mean, that like you have to do it in 2 weeks or you look like a pussy. So I mean, you have to pick something good like that.
Alright, so what's your thing for 2 weeks?
I think we should ease in. What's on the list? There's a couple of things on the list that can't be mentioned.
Okay.
Some weird shit. But I want to go on a Tinder date.
Okay, that's a good one.
I think that's an alright one. So I can do an update in a week.
Yeah.
Of how I'm getting on with that. And then
what if you succeed it in the week?
Then I won't say that.
Okay, alright.
We'll flesh this out a bit better, but like,
that's a good show. I like this idea.
So now you have a week to think about it. I have a good one for you already.
Alright, you can tell me off air and I'll decide if I like it.
Because it's this is the kind of shit where you're like, oh, I might do this. No, now you have a full date. You have to do it, or you're that little bitch. We should do like a forfeit. That the first person, whenever you don't do it, you have to do something. You have to like get a picture of you like with a fucking stupid hat on. We put it on Instagram each time, like big failure hat or something like that.
Alright, I'm really liking this idea.
I think that's a quality issue. So anyone listening now that knows, I am now in the process of looking for a Tinder date. We see the boys and they're going to be like, oh, how's it going? Oh, and I'll be like, oh, I can't say, lads, tune in next week.
Yes.
We have a little hook, but have to come back and you listen.
I'm liking it. Alright. I think we've run way over time as well.
Oh, minute 12. Lads are going to be free.
A minute 12, lads. You've been listening to for a full minute 12.
That flew again.
It did. We had loads to talk about.
We're getting gradually longer each week. Yeah. In the dick department. On that note, I think we should finish up.
Yeah.
Right, see you next week. Good luck.
Bye, lads.